Hello, Sally. Hello, Mom. How are you? How are you guys doing? Well, first of all, I appreciate you both for being here and attending the session. Hopefully, we're able to address some of the things have been going on lately. I know with you, Mom, I've had some discussion about what's been going on. So to start, how's your week been for both?
It's been better. Right now we're having some issues with Sally at school. So hopefully we can work some things out with that.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Sally?
More sucky than usual.
Okay. All right. Before we get started, I always have to mention client confidentiality is something that I have to address in every beginning session. So I don't know if you both have heard about
I know what that is.
confidentiality. You know what that is? Great. Just to recap real quick, essentially, confidentiality is just knowing that anything that we talk about in this session will not be discussed outside. So if there's anything that you want to share, you can trust that I won't say, I won't divulge anything or disclose anything, unless, of course, any of you mention that you're intending to harm yourself or harm someone else. Then in that case, I would disclose it. Yes. So you both understand?
Yeah.
Great. All right. So we can move on then. Mom, what seems to be what's going on at home?
Yeah, so we were contacted by the juvenile office recently because apparently Sally sent some inappropriate notes to a student, to a boy. But just in general, we've been having some problems with her with her grades. She's not doing so well with her grades at all. So just things like that, like behavioral issues that need to be addressed.
Okay. All right. And Sally, would you agree with what your mom just stated right now? Yeah. All right. Just so that I can get a little bit more understanding of what's been going on right now and at home, is there a moment this week? I mean, I know there's been a lot going on this week, but is there a recent altercation, a recent discussion that you both have had that you can reenact for me, just so that I can get a better understanding of how you interact or what's been going on? Just essentially, any discussion you've had this week, recreate it and just direct it at each other. So don't direct it to me, just to each other.
Okay, we can try that. So basically, it started when Sally got back from school, and I told her, Sally, I just got contacted from the juvenile office, and they're saying that you're touching a kid inappropriately in class, and I told her, why are you doing this? Why is this happening?
Okay, so Sally, what did you say to your mom?
I said the principal did not have to go that far into contacting the officer. It wasn't that big of a deal.
And what did you say, Mom?
I told her, I don't care. This is still a very serious issue that this is happening, and I want to know why you're doing this. And I was kind of yelling at her as well.
Okay. Is that what your mom said, Sally?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And how did you respond to that?
Well, I told Mom that you don't have to be yelling at me no matter what I did. If you think yelling is going to solve anything, you're really wrong. Yes,
Okay.
I may have done that, but has yelling at me solved anything in the past?
Okay. So what did you say, Mom?
I told her that I didn't want to yell at her, but in this case, since this is happening, that I was gonna have to take away her phone and any of her devices. Basically, she's gonna be grounded for doing this because this is something that's very serious, and I don't want to have any issues with like the juvenile office calling me and potentially this being something more serious. So I told her she was grounded.
Okay. And then how did you respond to that, Sally?
I don't even care about my phone anymore since you take it so often now, and that also never helps with anything. So take it again. Go ahead. That's what I
How did
said
you
to
respond to
her.
that? How did you respond to that, Mom?
I didn't say anything else after that. I was just very upset about it, and I told her that I was going to speak to her father, even though I know that's, that wouldn't do anything since he never helps me with anything. He's never involved. So I was, more angry after that because I'm alone in all of this, in trying to figure out a solution for all of this.
Okay. So it sounds like your husband doesn't really provide much support when it comes to parenting your daughter. And in situations such as this, where you could truly use his help to talk to your daughter and get her to understand what's going on, he's not there to support you. So would you say that that's a big reason why you're upset at your daughter and upset in general? And is that where the yelling and screaming stems from?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a very big part of it. Her father and I, my husband, we haven't really been doing very well for a long time now. We've been having a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, and I know that must not be easy for Sally and for Joan to hear. And I know it's difficult to be hearing all of that in the background. And like Sally has told me that has maybe been affecting her schoolwork, and I understand that. It's just a difficult situation with her dad right now that we're dealing with. And we're thinking about divorcing. So just with everything going on, it's been difficult. And I know that definitely impacts the way that I'm talking to Sally, the way that I'm handling the situation.
Okay. Yes, it sounds like you're going through a rough time in general with your family, with your husband. So Sally, how do you feel after hearing what your mom just said right now about what's going on with your dad?
Well, for one, I am sorry that on top of that situation with my dad, she has to deal with me and all the trouble I caused at school. Okay. And I know I can do better to improve her situation and help her alleviate her stress.
All right. So what do you think about that, Mom?
Yeah, I mean, I know that it's not like the best environment for her, and I definitely appreciate hearing that she can work harder. And for my part, I know for sure that I can try to deal with my husband and things like that, and not let that kind of spill over to what she's doing, and how that's affecting her schoolwork.
Right. Right. So Sally, from what I'm hearing, I'm hearing, your mom speaking, and I can see that, even though there's some yelling and screaming around in the house, and there's, fights and whatnot, I do hear a woman that cares about you. She cares about you. She cares about your grades. And this situation with juvenile hall, that must be, kind of a scary feeling, right? That the juvenile hall is calling her about something that you did. But she's here today. She talked earlier about seeing a psychiatrist in the past and having you on medication. So I see a mom that has done her best to try to help you. And so from what she just said earlier, do you feel like you can kind of understand a little bit of where your mom's coming from?
I suppose so. Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. So, Mom, what do you think you need to see from Sally to know that she understands what you're saying or what you want her to do?
I really don't think that the things that are going on at home are any of her fault. I don't want her to think that it has anything to do with her, or how much I love her. I just want her to focus on her schoolwork and just kind of improve on that. And if she has any things that she wants to talk to me about, that she understands that she can talk to me. I know that the more behavioral stuff is a bit more difficult, or with the inappropriate touching, I think that's something that as a mother, I need to just be more attentive about. So that's what I would like her to know.
Okay. So what do you think about what your mom just said, Sally?
I could do a lot more in trying to be better and stop with all that stuff at school that has gotten me into a lot of trouble now with even the juvenile office.
Yeah, I mean that sounds very serious. So it's definitely something that we can continue to talk about, and how to handle that, how to move forward, with this behavior, which is very serious. So before that, I just want to thank you guys, both for engaging in the role play. I know it can be kind of uncomfortable, kind of going over a fight or a discussion that you had that wasn't pleasant, and also for listening to each other, and coming here today. So I know it's hard to be vulnerable at times. So if it's okay, are you guys okay with meeting next week? To continue our conversation.
Yeah,
Sure.
I am.
Okay, great. So we can set a time after to so we can plan our next session. Thank you both for coming today.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
night.
much.
Bye bye.